Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this channel, as you know, we have something about 1,500 videos by now and counting. Many of these videos are all about whatever it is that you think after your breakup. All you have to do is just type in what you feel in the search engine of the channel and you're bound to get a bunch of videos. About 300-400 of them are also about the movement of the mind. What is the role of ego, fear, desire, pleasure, mechanical process, order, thoughts, consciousness is in the way you negotiate your daily life. And why is it that you feel the way you do? And why is it that you feel so devastated or happy? All of that is explained in that bunch of videos. So on this channel, all you have to do is just look for what you're looking for. Look for what you're looking for. You're bound to get some explanation, at least something to ponder. But before you do that, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, because although thousands of people around the world have expressed their gratitude and the effect that this channel, the content of this channel has had on their lives, but we are still invisible. So I need you to like if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and if you didn't like the video, just don't do a darn thing. Just say bye-bye and thank you and go. So anyhow, we need exposure, and until then, please do click on subscribe and help us out. Now, what I want to talk to you this time is about why you stay in this state of low mood, depressed mood, after you break up for longer than you should really. I want to explore that with you. Dr. Adrian Owen, I think is his name, they did a new amazing study. And I want to use that study in my discussion here, because although in many of the previous videos we discussed how thought represents itself in the brain, that every thought, most every thought, has a pictorial, has a picture into it in our consciousness. But this researcher has actually not just brought about a certain information to affirm what I've been thinking that it was, but also give us some insight to what new studies have found, which is amazing. And then at the end of the video, I will connect it all to what it is that I'm trying to make a point in regards to your feelings after your breakup. Look, they have studied that when a person is in vegetative state, laying in bed in hospital, so to speak, and cannot express himself through words or facial expressions or even any kind of a physical movement to press a finger or show what he agrees or disagrees. And therefore, in such cases, they don't know if the person is aware or not aware at all. The study shows that about 20% of these cases, the person is fully aware, but just can't express himself. So it's devastating to actually be witness to all the friends and family around him talking about to let him die or let him live, or talking about his future or state of being. While he's aware of it all, 1 out of 5 is aware of it all, but can't express itself. They wanted to know, how is it? Is it possible for them to find out what the thinking of that person is? So this is what they did. As we have talked about in some of the videos, that most all thoughts have a picture in your mind. they tried to capitalize on that. In one of my videos, I discussed about every thought that you have, most every thought that you have, as a pictorial, as a picture to it. And that picture is how you recognize and give life in your brain to a thought. So see what these guys did. Dr. Owen, apparently, and I put the link here so you can see that study, that the video that they have made on their study, on their experience. They know that a certain kind of activity, if you think about a certain kind of activity, like, let's say, horse show, like you're jumping with horses, or you're running, or you're playing tennis, is produced by premotor cortex of the brain. And when you think that way, the energy that is being used to create that thinking is glucose. When that thinking takes place, the brain uses glucose to create that thinking, and then the blood rushes to replenish the glucose. So through fMRI scanning, they can figure out where the rush of the blood was to replenish the glucose. In that way, they can understand there's an activity in that part of the brain. Premotor cortex, in this case, for activities like tennis or sports and so on. And they also know that if the activity is just walking about a park or going from room to room of one's home, the pictorial would be created in a different part of the brain. That would be parahippocampal gyrus. So then they see blood is rushing to bring glucose to parahippocampal gyrus area, which they know what kind of thinking it was. Because the activity and sports thinking will go to premotor cortex, and moving from room to room will be created in the parahippocampal gyrus. So they had now figured it out what they should be doing. So they put the person into the scanner and said to him that if the answer is yes to the question they're going to be asking, then think about playing tennis. Because they could now scan it, see if he thought about tennis or if he thought about moving from room to room. And if the answer is no, think about moving from one room to another room. In that way, they knew how to communicate with this person who is in vegetative state, which is called, I think it's called brain command or something to that effect. Command following, or following, brain command following. Anyhow, you will see the link and you can see it in perfect explanation. So now, how I want to bring your attention to is that, so obviously when you're thinking about something, there is glucose being used. That's pretty much the same feeling that you get after having done lots of math or calculations for your studies in school. Remember, you would feel something sweet. You want something sweet, sugar, some pastry, after having lots of hours of math or thinking of that sort. So when you're thinking all day long about your ex or your previous experience in your relationship that broke up, and you're using all these glucose, so obviously you need some food, but because through all these thinking, it's all negative thinking, there was no chance for you to experience lovely things, wonderful things, things that normally you would feel elated, happy, things that would cause your brain to secrete things like dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, which would give you a feeling of something good is happening, give you a feeling of warmth and friendliness, and all those feelings that makes you feel good, all those chemicals that is producing your brain by having a normal life and feeling good stuff and so on through the day, it wouldn't have the chance to be created. Why? Because you're constantly thinking about something depressing, something sad. So there is no chance for the other stuff to bring you the good mood, the good feeling. That's why you will remain in that depressing mode, because all you've been doing, conditioning yourself to be more depressed and depressed. And of course, you're hungry, but there is no real motivation chemical created in your brain to make you not be lazy, get up and go eat something or cook something or go do exercise and have all these good stuff created in your brain. So you don't have good stuff created in your brain to make you feel happy, all those, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and at the same time, you don't do exercise, you don't do anything, and at the same time, you're thinking all these sad things, depressing things. So obviously, you have nothing in your brain creating a good feeling for you, or a possibility or a chance to feel good about yourself. So all you have to do is to stop thinking about this and go out, do exercise. Give your brain a chance to create oxytocin, to create dopamine, to create serotonin. So you will have the good feeling and you will stop thinking about those sad feelings, because now you feel good. When you feel good, you're not depressed. You don't want to think about bad stuff or the ex or things, how the relationship, what relationship was and how it went wrong and all that. Think about it and get yourself out of this rot and start doing things, normal things to life, to create that serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine, so you won't be stuck in constantly being depressed and not give a chance to your brain to create these wonderful chemicals that is naturally secreted in your brain when you're having a normal life and are happy. Hope that I'll give you something to think about. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.